every single day we get some sort of douchebag joining. Do you like my artwork? Doing something else. But yeah. Oops. If you think Bitcoin is a store of value, then I agree. But is it really? It is and it isn't. So you have to understand that money and value are two different things. So, and a lot of people sort of get confused about that. If you take the Mona Lisa, I spoke about this last night. The Mona Lisa, what is it? It's a painting. What's the intrinsic value of the Mona Lisa? It's a canvas and a bit of paint. What's the value of that? A tenner? What's the actual value of that on the current market? I don't know, 100 million pounds or more. Like, so the Mona Lisa has maintained value, is actually appreciated in value for how long? Well, basically ever since it was painted. Banksy art has maintained value. So there are things out there that maintain and grow in value, even though they're not money. So crypto is this weird blend where it is money. Well, Bitcoin, it is, or it's morphing into money and also value. So crypto as a whole is simply an internet of value. So we had the original internet explosion in the year 2000. And that was, what is internet? It's an internet of data transmission. That's all it is, internet of data. Crypto is simply an internet of data and value transmission. It's the natural evolution of the internet as we know it. And the funny thing is, I don't know if I've mentioned about this, I've done a lot of research into mushrooms. Ever since I came across one of probably the most fascinating people I've ever come across online, a guy called Paul Stamets. Just, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, YouTube Paul Stamets and watch his TED Talks. He's done a whole bunch of them. And then you'll read, and then watch the Joe Rogan interview of Paul Stamets. Amazing. Then watch the second Joe Rogan interview of Paul Stamets. And you'll have a new man crush in terms of knowledge. Like, he is just fascinating. And it's interesting. What I learned from that is that the world's first internet wasn't the internet as we know it. It was mycelial networks, mushrooms, basically. The internet. So mycelial networks have been around for about 600 million years. And if you look at a mycelial network, they are in structure identical to the internet as we're using right now. The fact that you're listening to me on Zoom and YouTube, etc., it's via the internet. Look at the nodes, look at the structure of the internet. It's identical to mycelial networks. And it's just a massive coincidence that nature always finds the best and least, a path of least resistance. And it's created this lovely structure. And that's what the internet is. And crypto is the same. I find it fascinating. David Terrison, he also then goes on to say gold has 5,000 years of history. Yeah, gold is a store of value. 1 ounce of gold will buy you, back in the Roman times, a suit of armor or a nice toga. And 1 ounce of gold right now will buy you a nice tailor-made Armani suit. So yeah, gold has retained value, and it still will. However, what Bitcoin is digital gold. It has basically all of the values and the positive traits of gold, but none of the drawbacks. Like, it's liquid, whereas gold is clunky, it's not a liquid. If you take gold, there's a lot of tail risk. If I have 1,000 tons of gold, oh no, that's a bit extreme. If I have, kilograms of gold, you could come to my house, point a gun at me and nick it. Don't confuse risk and volatility. Then, because something's volatile doesn't mean it's risky. So yeah, crypto used to be very risky, but now it's not. Bitcoin especially is not risky anymore. Ethereum is not risky anymore. Dogecoin is risky. So you can't just put Doge and Bitcoin in the same sentence. They're completely different things. It's like calling, putting, you make Dave that has a coffee shop down the road in the same category as Apple. They're completely different beasts. Dave may have great coffee, but he's not a Fortune, 100 company or whatever. So Chain, I think we all need to get educated on crypto assets, not even for monetary purposes, but to understand the technology. Unfortunately, a lot of people will miss the boat on this. Yep, I agree. But here's my little caveat on that. Don't get too caught up in the tech. You don't need to. Take an internet marketer. Do you think that person knows how the internet works? Hell, there's what, 23 people in YouTube right now, and how many in Zoom? 34. Okay, there's like 50 of you here. I would be really shocked out of my socks. I'm not even wearing socks, but I would be really shocked if even one person here could articulately explain how the internet works. Exactly. I see Chris shaking his head. We've been using the internet basically most of our lives, yet I doubt a single person here knows how it works, intricately, to the point where you could really explain it to like a 5-year-old, or even to a 95-year-old grandma. Like, you don't need to know the tech. You need to have a basic understanding of it, and that is it. Just like a pilot. Like, I used to be a pilot in the military, and all military pilots have a very good understanding of the mechanics of aircraft and how they fly, and the engineering to a degree. But do we know the aircraft as well as an engineer? No, we don't. We need to know enough that if something happens in the aircraft, you've got a oil leak. What does an oil leak do? It leads to fires, falling oil pressure, all that sort of stuff. Lower oil pressure, high TGTs, then fire. Like, we need a basic understanding of aircraft mechanics and engines and stuff, but we don't need to know the intricates. I couldn't fix a freaking engine. It's the same with crypto. You don't need to go down into coder level. Just don't bother. And it's always changing. The future of crypto tech hasn't even been discovered yet. We've got all sorts of different proof of work, proof of history, proof of stake, proof of whatever, and we haven't really landed on the proper one yet. Mind you, Tangle is pretty good, or Block Lattice, they're pretty good. Some of the DAGs are pretty interesting out there at the moment. So as in the directed acyclic graphs, as in the crypto techs, where there's infinite scalability, infinite transactions per second, and they have security. There are techs out there that have solved that trilemma. Shane, I'm all for decentralized finance. Yep, same. It's going to gobble up all finance. So this is why I think I'm getting more bullish by the minute, actually, with crypto. Yes, I know we've got this bull cycle, and I'm probably going to hop out in January time, end of December, January. But when you think about it, crypto will eat up and gobble up loads of different sectors. So I used to think, yeah, we'll probably hit, whatever $1 trillion market cap, and then whatever. But it's different than that. It's seeping into everything. So when you take the whole global finance, that's trillions of dollars of market cap and stuff. So and crypto decentralizes, or it disintermediates everything. Any middleman is screwed. Like, what is a bank? A bank is a middleman. It's screwed. So the market cap is gonna go nuts. Like, I would not be surprised if the whole crypto market cap got to several $100 trillion a lot faster than people think. Even a tokenized house sale will still need some form of on-the-ground valuation. Oh yeah, so I was talking about other bits and bobs. Yeah, so there will still be some people, doing the valuation, but eventually estate agents are going to die. Nandri has said, what about regulation around currencies and the fiat currency sovereign banks / central banks promise of the value of the money? Also, there is currently no regulation around crypto in verifying source of funds, etc. Will this likely temper growth of cryptocurrencies? No, it's not going to temper that at all. Regulation will come, and that's why they're going to bring out these central bank digital currencies, and they'll probably do another round of, hey, let's ban cryptos now. But they can't. You can't ban the internet. People get around that. So the promise of value of the money. There is no promise of value with currency as you know it. If you think that the government is promising the value of your pound, you're mistaking, or the dollar, you're massively mistaken. You just need to look at one chart, which they've actually stopped doing, and just go to Fred M1. There we go. This is the actual hard cash they've discontinued this graph because it shows how ridiculous currency growth in America is. I think I'm asking for too much here, trying to open up a web page and do a Zoom call. Come on, bandwidth. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. This is painful, isn't it? Spinning cogs. At some point in my life, I'd like the word buffering to become extinct. That would be a great moment when no one even remembers what buffering even means. That would be great. How much hours of your life would you save? Anyway, going back to what I was saying, look at this. Look at the amount of money printing it's happening right now. This dicks all over the money printing from 2009 to 2012. It doesn't even register in this chart. It's insane. Like if you go back from 1976 to sort of 2009, 2012, we really printed our way out of the shit. Well, compare that to now. The government does not guarantee the value of your currency. All they're guaranteeing is the decreasing value of your currency. And I say this probably every day. The pounds in your pocket are like ice cubes in the Sahara Desert. Storing your wealth in the pound or the dollar is literally the dumbest thing you can do.